What is going on, everybody? This is it. This is the wrap up for Wrestle Talk with the Franchise 2024 end of year. I know. Can't believe 2024 in a whole has been probably in the 30 plus years I've been watching wrestling, the best wrestling across the board. Yes, there was some things in AEW that was good, but overall, great year in the world of professional wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever you want to refer to it as. Now, as you guys are probably aware if you haven't seen it already, on our Instagram channel, our Instagram page, RCW_podcast, you do see my 2024 year end awards. Okay. Now there's about 9 of them. ESPN released their Pro Wrestling 2024 awards as well. So what I felt like I should do, and what I wanted to do, was I wanted to go over their list and compare it to mine. Now, there is 1 or 2 categories that they have that I didn't and I had that they don't have. I'm not going to get into the ones that I have that they don't have. I'm just going to go over what awards or categories they have and compare it to the ones that I have. So with that being said, let's dive into who ESPN had as their Woman of the Year. Now, this year, as last year, the women in professional wrestling killed it. You cannot say anything other than just wow with the women. I mean, we had emerging stars, Jada Parker, Lola Vice, Soul Roca. I don't know why I said Solo. Stick my Solo Sikoa. But Soul Roca, Lash Legend, Jakar Jackson, Jade Cargill, Lyra Valkyrie. The list goes on. You go to AEW and you look at Timeless Toni Storm, Mariah May, Maria Shafir, Mina. Then you look, you had Mercedes Moné show up, Sasha Banks. Just the list of women, talent, unreal. But ESPN had a tie with their Woman of the Year. And that is Roxanne Perez, the prodigy herself, NXT's women's champion, and AEW's star, Timeless Toni Storm. Now, I did not go that way. I could have had it be a 3-way tie with Roxanne Perez, Toni Storm, and who I selected, which was Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan in 2024 had an incredible year. Her revenge tour that she had, and now she's on her victory tour, winning the crown jewel, even though we all know that that's whatever, but winning the world title, winning the crown jewel title, her in-ring work is incredible. Mic skills is incredible. And, it's Liv Morgan. Everybody, the famous shot of Liv Morgan of 2024 is leading up to her match with Rhea Ripley in the crowd when she did that infamous turnaround and they say she broke the internet, but, you know, I think Rhea Ripley twerking this past weekend broke the internet, but that's not here nor there. Liv Morgan, phenomenal year. I do give it to her, but like I said, if I wanted to do a three-way tie, I would have did it with those three. But my vote goes for Liv Morgan. Now, the one award that I will tell you guys I really struggled with was this one, which is the Men's Wrestler of the Year. I mean, you had Gunther, you had Cody, you had CM Punk, you had Drew McIntyre, you had Swerve Strickland, you had Hangman, you had Will Ospreay. I decided, because ESPN went with Gunther. They went with the ring general. They went with Gunther. I do not have a problem with them going with Gunther. Gunther had an incredible year, but Gunther's year is not, in my opinion, even though he did win the world title, and that is something, and he set a record for holding the Intercontinental title for 666 days. Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, had the year. I mean, when I think about Jey Uso, I think to this moment right here, Backlash in France, the crowd, the atmosphere, the lights. We all know they had their phones out with the flash. Jey Uso, it looked like fireflies. That's kind of how Jey Uso framed it. It was like fireflies in the arena. That shot right there, like right here, this shot is the shot that made me say, this is his year. This is Jey Uso's year. Main event Jey Uso, capturing the Intercontinental title, putting on a hell of a match against Gunther. Okay? He's put on matches. He's put on phenomenal matches, beating Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. Being reinserted back into the bloodline, because we all know that's kind of where he belongs. And what is going to happen moving forward in 2025 with Jey Uso is going to be incredible. Now, you know, I have been very adamant on his father, Rikishi, because Rikishi, I just felt was damn near almost putting his son career on the line with the outlandish things that he was saying. But it all paid off. He won the Intercontinental title. He's reinserted back into the biggest story in wrestling history. Not just of the year, because the Bloodline story is not the story of the year. But their story is going to be told, and I've said it before, their story is going to be told for decades, for years to come. Okay? This is arguably the greatest story in wrestling history, the Bloodline story. And he's back inserted into it. So, Jey Uso, my men's wrestler of the year. Now, the one category that they had on here that I didn't have, but I'm going to discuss it, is Tag Team of the Year. Now, the tag team division across the board, lackluster. It's just not hitting. We were introduced to the World Tag Team titles. They got rid of the Raw Tag Team titles. They got rid of the SmackDown Tag Team titles and made them the World and the just WWE Tag Team titles. And even with that on the main roster, the tag teams are, maybe we may see a up in them. You know, we got Motor City Machine Guns now. DIY, they have changed their character a little bit. It looks like the Street Profits may change theirs, But you know how I feel about the Street Profits. I want them to go completely separate and make Montez have his run. That's what I want to see in 2025. Please let Montez have his solo run. But the main roster tag team is, we got the War Raiders now. They're back healthy. Congratulations goes out to them because they had a very hellacious 2024. And now they are our World Tag Team Champions. DIY is the WWE Tag Team Champions. But the Tag Team of the Year, and I agree with ESPN, is Faxium. Nathan Frazier and Axiom. That tag team in NXT, hands down, at points I thought they were going to break up. I did, but they didn't. And I'm happy that they did it because they are the best tag team in wrestling right now. Now, Motor City Machine Gun will say, hold on. We can do the Pepsi challenge for this one because I think 2025, early predictions, way early, Motor City Machine Guns will be Tag Team of the Year in 2025. But for right now, Faxium is Tag Team of the Year. Another one that they have that I did not have, but I'm going to discuss it because he is my breakthrough male superstar of the year. But they did a debut wrestler of the year, and nobody had a bigger impact in their debut than the Samoan werewolf himself, Jacob Fatu. I can hear him right now. Solo! I love you. We all know. That's his signature. That is his signature. Jacob Fatu, I cannot wait to see him fully just flourish in the WWE. I mean, we've seen the teases of matchups that we could possibly get. Him and Braun Breaker. This past Friday, we seen him and Braun Strowman squaring off. Him and Roman Reigns. Him and Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa. I would love to see him and Solo have a match. Just the list of people that Jacob Fatu can have a match with is going to be incredible. And this man is indeed the future of the bloodline of the WWE. He's one of the future pieces. And he's great on the mic. I mean, him on SmackDown when they were in Buffalo and I was there, he's just killed it on the mic. And he was on the monitor cutting a promo. And he was just incredible. You know, when he gets opportunity to talk, he's about it. So big ups to Solo Sikoa for breakthrough wrestler of the year. But you know me, I have to show love to the females as well. My female breakthrough wrestler of the year goes to none other than Miss Parker herself, Jada Parker. NXT, Jada Parker, she killed it this year. I want to see her with gold in 2025, and I don't want her with the United States or the North American women's title. I want her with the NXT women's title, not the North American. I think, not say that's beneath her, but if anything, let her get that title first. So that's who I have for my breakthrough female of the year. Best promo of the year, it goes to who I have as superstar of the year, and that's Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre promo skills is such, and I said this before, and I will continue to say this year, Drew McIntyre stepped up, and I know in 2025, Drew McIntyre is going to absolutely kill it. He's going to be a very viable piece into this bloodline story. I'm going to get into that a little bit later because there's a reason. We all know his reason behind him going after the bloodline and everything, but he did mention that only one person in the company reached out to him when he was going through what he was going through. And I have a feeling I know who that is. I'll get into that later. But Drew McIntyre, hands down, best promos. Or he cut some of the best promos this year. His feuds with CM Punk, what he's going through now. I mean, at the Busted Open Awards a couple of weeks ago, he cut a very truthful, I don't even want to say a promo because it won't do it justice. He spoke from the heart of how he felt about the business right now. And how he felt about the fans and how he just felt in general. And that was real. Like, he blurs that line, and it's just incredible to see that we are sitting here watching this, trying to figure out, like, damn, was that a shoot or was that a work? Like, which one was it? And when you have those moments where you're not sure, that's when it's working. And Drew McIntyre did that hands down. I agree with ESPN for putting him as best promo artist. Match of the year. We disagree. ESPN has Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. AEW Dynasty. It was good. It wasn't CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. The conclusion, the trilogy, Bad Blood, inside Hell in a Cell. This match, their matches in general, from SummerSlam to Bash in Berlin to Bad Blood, all three just elevated as it went on. It just kept getting better and better and better. And you concluded with the structure that is, this shows you why when you have certain stories, it has to conclude inside Hell in a Cell. It's not just, let's just have everybody, like the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. They got rid of it. We all know that. But this is the only way you can end a feud that is that much rooted in hatred, in anger, all that. Personal, because we all know Drew McIntyre, CM Punk was personal. Ended in a cell. Ended in the cell, and that's what they did. And I cannot think of a better match for match of the year other than this one. Best pay-per-view / premium live, because AEW believes in pay-per-views. WWE PLEs. I agree. ESPN, WrestleMania 40, hands down, best one. Okay. We got Cody Rhodes finishing the story. We got The Rock in a match. We got Sami Zayn dethroning Gunther. We got CM Punk screwing Drew McIntyre out of the world title after winning it, and Damian Priest cashing in. Damian Priest becoming world champion. Bayley winning. Rhea Ripley retaining. All just WrestleMania in general this year, WrestleMania 40, was incredible. The Hall of Fame, Paul Heyman being inducted in the Hall of Fame in Philadelphia, ECW's birthplace. Like, come on now. You could just, best one. Best one. Even though I was a little disappointed that a certain Texas rattlesnake didn't come out at the end, but we all know what happened with that, so to each his own. Best feud storyline of the year, hands down. Already talked about it. Bad Blood. This went on for 10 months. For 10 months. almost the whole year, we got Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Even when CM Punk was injured, they still were able to tell the story and build the feud. It wasn't like CM Punk got injured, went away, and Drew McIntyre was not poking the bear. He kept poking the bear. Every shot he got, he was poking the bear, going on to Twitter and trolling CM Punk, doing all types of stuff for CM Punk to come back at WrestleMania and screw him over after he won the world title. Then CM Punk became medically cleared and Drew McIntyre took him out and they fought over not even a $5 bracelet, but fought over a bracelet, but we all knew the significance of that bracelet. And it became personal. We had Larry, CM Punk's dog, which that's an ugly dog. But it's Larry. Everyone loves Larry. You know, it just was the best. This is up there with Hangman and Swerve. This feud is up there with them. And like I said before, and I will always say this, CM Punk, what he wanted to do in AEW, we're seeing that manifest in the WWE. He wanted to tell a story similar to him and Drew McIntyre. And I feel like that was him and Hangman. I feel like him and MJF is him and Seth Rollins right now. And we all know, I believe Punk and Roman is going to be Punk and Moxley. That's what I think. I think you're going to see that take place. So that was ESPN's awards. Obviously, what I do, I also had mines. If you, like I said, you go on to Instagram, you'll see the ones that I did not talk about, like Return of the Year and Moment of the Year, and Superstar of the Year. But you already know, I already said Drew McIntyre is my Superstar of the Year. So that's it for the 2024 awards. Let's dive into 2025 and what I expect going into 2025. Obviously, the biggest thing going into the new year is January 6th. It's been talked about since the announcement that Raw was moving to Netflix. So far, 3 matches are confirmed. I'm going to safely assume a match is going to take place there as well. And that is Liv Morgan will be defending her Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley. And what they are saying, now they may confirm it tonight on Raw, but it looks like it's going to be a last woman standing match. Very interesting to see how that plays itself out. We have CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Y'all know how I feel. I wish this was at WrestleMania, but it could be part 1 of a trilogy. And we get the final one at WrestleMania. Maybe we get it at SummerSlam, but I do want to see Seth Rollins and CM Punk at WrestleMania. And then we have Tribal Combat. We have the OTC. As Paul Heyman likes to do, Roman Reigns going against Solo Sikoa for what I have said is the most important thing in this story, in this chapter of this epic movie. Because like I said before, we all like that term. Term's been overused. Say it with me, y'all. Cinema. This right here is, if I had to put it with the Avengers, this is Infinity War. Okay? This right here is Infinity War. It is Solo Roman for the Ulafala, because I've said it before and I will say it again. The Ulafala is the most important thing in this story, and the fact that they thought of introducing a tribal chief belt. Really? I think the only reason why they wanted to bring a tribal chief belt was for a money grab. That simple. I think this year for the WWE, they have gotten greedy. Like, there's talks of now all of the PLEs being 2 nights. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you want to have Royal Rumble, which ideally will make sense because you're giving the women a night for their Royal Rumble, and then you're giving the men their night for their Royal Rumble, I'm all for it. You want to do Money in the Bank? I get it. Once again, the women have their night to have their Miss Money in the Bank, and then you have the men have their night for their Money in the Bank. WrestleMania is already a done conclusion. We already know that. They're saying SummerSlam. SummerSlam is their second biggest pay-per-view or biggest premium live. But to have every single premium live as a 2-night thing, no, that's too much. Could it be a possibility? Because now more people have opportunities, more matches, more stories to be told. I get it. But 2 nights? Do y'all know how much these goddamn WrestleMania tickets cost? 2 nights? SummerSlam? 2 nights? 2 nights? That's, I don't know about that one. But they wanted to introduce the tribal chief belt. And they heard the outland. They heard the backlash. They heard the fans say, what? No. And nope, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. Because the Ulafala is the most important thing in this story. I also feel, and then I'm gonna go back to the tribal combat, but I do want to throw out there the women's Intercontinental title tournament finals will probably take place at this Raw January 6th on Netflix, because you had Saturday night's main event. They crowned the Women's United States champion. So why not on this big, monumental, historical night crown the first ever Women's Intercontinental champion, which I'm going to say, as I said before, when they announced the tournament, Dakota Kai is my favorite to win. I can possibly see Dakota Kai versus Io Sky. I can possibly see that happening. Damage Control versus Damage Control. In a very competitive match. But I have Dakota Kai winning it all. Circle back. Tribal combat. I have this feeling inside the pit of my soul, because we know why Raw is on Netflix, right? We know why, right? Because we know that a certain member of the board of directors, the people's champ, the final boss, that is The Rock, has a partnership, has a deal with Netflix. We all know he has movies that are exclusively on Netflix. We all know that. You don't think that he has something to do with this partnership? We all know that it happened. I mean, hell. But I feel just like we know John Cena's going to be at Raw, we're pretty much assured that The Rock's going to be there. And we know Royal Rumble. We know one of the matches that was announced this past Friday was Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the Undisputed title, with both the Undisputed title and the Wing title hanging above. So we kind of have an idea of what direction Cody Rhodes is going to be going leading into WrestleMania, which means we know at least one of the things that I've been predicting is going to happen at WrestleMania, which is The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And how do you tell this story? How do you bring this up? Well, remember when I said earlier that Drew McIntyre said that there was only one person that checked on him when he was going through what he was going through? That same person who checked on him is the person that Drew McIntyre, if you go back to his Twitter, he retweeted a post that The Rock did when The Rock had someone deliver his brand new contract with a note from The Rock. And The Rock has given Drew McIntyre all this praise. Dating back to, I believe, 2019, he gave Drew McIntyre high praise. I have a sneaky suspicion that Drew McIntyre is going to screw Roman Reigns out of being the tribal chief, out of the Ulufala, and giving it to Solo. We've seen how Solo attacked Jey Uso on Raw, and they let Drew McIntyre go. We've seen how Drew McIntyre is now becoming this bloodline hunter and taking out all of the members of the bloodline, the OG bloodline, with the exception of Solo. And you know why Solo is kind of exempt from that? Because Solo answers to the High Chief, which indeed is The Rock, who's going to reveal himself to be that, and to reveal himself to be the person who sent Drew McIntyre to screw Roman Reigns. This is going to get levels. There's layers to this story. You're going to get Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre leading up to WrestleMania, but you're going to get Roman Reigns versus The Rock for the title of High Chief. Forget Tribal Chief. Because, see, The Rock dropped a video a couple weeks back speaking on a certain watch that Jacob made, Jacob the jeweler. And in this video, he talks about the details that the watch is a beautiful watch, has his tattoo on the face, and he talks about how he indeed, because it's based on Maui, but he also says, I am indeed the High Chief. I am indeed that. I believe the term is Matea. He indeed is that. And for him to literally submit himself and say, I am that. Go back. If you haven't checked it out, watch Busted Open. Listen to Busted Open. They did about a 20-minute audio. YouTube might be 13 minutes. But they talk about Rock, what direction the Rock should be in 2025. And one of the things that they said is him and his mother are the only descendants still alive that has a direct bloodline between the High Chief and them. That is that. If it wasn't for the High Chief, there would be no Alpha, Sikoa, Rikishi, Yoko, Haku, Jimmy, Jay, Zilla, Jacob, Solo. None of them. Tamina. All, as Bully Ray said, all 97 cousins. They would not be if it wasn't for the High Chief. And the High Chief's descendant, his bloodline goes through The Rock. He indeed is the true, and I've been saying this for years. I have the footage. I've been saying this. Roman Reigns, The Rock, for the title of High Chief. And we may be finally fucking getting it in 2025. I've been talking about it for five years, 6 years. I've been talking about it for a long time. Damn it, we may get it. We may get this. And I can't wait. You know what else I want to see, but I don't think it's going to happen, because we have the biggest moment in 2025 is going to be the end of a luxurious career in John Cena. This is it. This is it. After 2025, you can't see him. Okay? He has it on a t-shirt. It's there. 2025. It's the end of the road. And when his road ends, I will come back on here and give that man his flowers, because damn it, he deserves it. Because John Cena, for years, even when I could not stand him, carried the WWE. And when he left to do Hollywood and do all that, I grown to miss that man and be like, damn it. He came back. It was a great time. And now we are going to get the last hoorah. But in the midst of this last hoorah, there's rumors, there's talks, there's speculation that at WrestleMania, we will see Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the undisputed title, with the possibility of John Cena beating Cody Rhodes and breaking Ric Flair's title reign. I don't want to see that. I want to see him break the title reign, but not by defeating Cody. Maybe defeat Gunther. Because y'all know who I want to see WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. I believe Randy Orton's coming back at Royal Rumble. You can start to build Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, get that out the way, and then possibly kick that shit into overdrive with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. If you want to wait to SummerSlam, I can maybe see that. Because you still have Rock and Cody to tell their story. You still have that story to be told. Because we don't forget The Rock placing something in Cody Rhodes' hands and saying, "Don't you break my heart again." He didn't say this, but I'm going to say this. He probably looked at him and said, "I'll see you down the round. I'll see you down the line." You know, I want to see John Cena go against Cody, which is not at WrestleMania. Cody wants it. There's talks of John Cena versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. I don't want to see that. I feel like we may get Logan Paul versus Tyson at WrestleMania. That's out there. We all know after the Jake Paul fight, Tyson said he wants to fight Logan. It's in Vegas. I said it before. Make it happen. Make it happen. Don't put Logan Paul in anything of, I don't want to say relevant, but not there. Not Cena and Logan Paul at WrestleMania. But John Cena, Cody Rhodes, not at WrestleMania. Rather see Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, but we may end up getting Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. I really don't want to see John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. I just don't. That's just me. Y'all know I've been saying it since Cody Rhodes won the title. I had a whole segment on the episode about the state of Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes needs that signature rival. We can say this is happening now with Kevin Owens, but Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton just is personal. It can get personal. We know the depths that Randy Orton can get to, especially if we get like Randy Orton when he was RKOing and punting everybody, and he punted Stephanie and Triple H and that anger and all. We can get that with him and Cody, with Brandy. What? The writing's on the wall. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Please. But speaking of returns, talk about Randy Orton returning. There is some returns in 2025 that I'm looking forward to seeing. Charlotte Flair being probably the biggest return that I'm looking forward to seeing, because, let's be real, we miss the queen. We miss Charlotte Flair, okay? I know there's talks that she's been keeping the date kind of tightly close to the chest, not telling her father, because we all know Nature Boy will hop on a podcast and just blab it all out, reveal when she's coming back and all this stuff. Nah, let's keep it close to the vest. I think she may return at Royal Rumble. That's my opinion. And then we get to see her in these epic matches, her and Jade Cargill. We know that's a match made in heaven. Still her and Bianca Belair. But y'all know, my match that I want to see Charlotte Flair in is with Miss Money in the Bank right now, but Tiffany Stratton. I mean, Becky already passed the baton to her. Let Charlotte do it too. Because Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, they are the future of the WWE in the women's division, along with Jada Parker, along with Roxanne Perez. I didn't even get to Stephanie Valkyrie and Julia. I'm not, but Charlotte Flair is someone I'm looking forward to seeing come back. I'm looking forward to seeing Jade Cargill come back this year, 2025, because when she come back, we gonna get some truth about who attacked her. And I know I said Charlotte Flair was was my person I was thinking that was gonna do it. Nah, I don't think it was her. I know Naomi was kind of like, nah, I didn't do it. You know, she sent a tweet out to JD and all this stuff. Naomi did it. Not only did Naomi do it, Naomi had help by Bianca Belair. I know I said Bianca Belair is the John Cena of the women's division. Bianca Belair and Naomi did it. Naomi kind of sprinkled a little bit of why she probably could have did it, because she said it on SmackDown, she always wanted gold. When she and Sasha Banks left, they indeed were the women's tag team champions, correct? So that can only mean that when she comes back and she gets that title, she can cut a promo, and when it's revealed that she did indeed, with the help of Bianca Belair, attack Jade Cargill, she could turn around and say, I just wanted the one thing that I never lost, which was those tag team titles. See, you guys remember, I was the last tag team champion before I left with somebody, we all know who that is, and she may throw a shot at Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné in this promo. Because she could have said, if it wasn't for the fact that I left, I would still be champ. So now, if it's revealed that Bianca Belair and Naomi attacked Jade, now Bayley can insert herself and be like, yo, Naomi, you was my girl, and Bianca, you kept accusing me of this, and you end up doing this. Nah, we gonna run this. And her and Jade versus Bianca and Naomi, WrestleMania, women's tag team titles on the line. And then we can talk about the one return that happened this past weekend, which I thought we were going to get in 2025, but we got it a couple days earlier, and that's Adam Copeland, and that's AEW. So before I wrap this up, let's talk about AEW, shall we? Because boy, oh boy, 2024, AEW, was the worst of the 5 years of AEW's existence. 2024 will go down as the worst year for this company. And I said it in the beginning of this year, that I said that I believe I said 2025, that they will be at the level of Impact, TNA, wrestling. Tony Khan recently said that he feels though as if the airing of the Jack Perry CM Punk All-In brawl that took place last year helped them get their media rights deal that they have with Warner Brothers Discovery. I said it when they made the announcement of the media rights deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, that the reason they did this was because they lost the NBA. After this season, basketball, there is no more NBA on Warner. And that was a big deal. They need something to replace it. Insert AEW. Because it can't be for the ratings, because the ratings have plummeted this year. Dynamite this past Wednesday, you can say it was because of Christmas, was 500,000 viewers. NXT the night before, Christmas Eve, had like 700,000 viewers. Come on now. Are we being real? Let's talk about Adam Copeland. Now, I remember AEW used to be the place that was where the stars were going to be born. The future of professional wrestling. This is where professional wrestling takes place. It's in AEW. This is where the future is. Yet, I said this when the Death Riders formed and all this stuff was happening, and I kind of painted a picture of Christian Cage, because he has the contract. Christian Cage will win the AEW world title. And Adam Copeland will return. And Adam Copeland and Christian Cage will be fighting for the world title, the AEW world title. And ladies and gentlemen, we are on the verge of possibly seeing that. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking that he's not going to win. Christian Cage is not going to beat Moxley, or Adam Copeland is not going to. Either way, some people are assuming that it's going to be Darby Allin that is going to dethrone Moxley at All In next year. And speaking of All In next year, they're already hyping up Okada and Omega for the 6th time that we've seen it. We've seen it 5 times in New Japan, and we're going to see it now again at All In. Because it's very ironic that Kenny Omega comes back to present Okada with the Continental belt after Okada with the Elite took out Kenny Omega, and the Kenny Omega comes back as if nothing ever happened. And let's not get on the Continental Classic, because that was supposed to be where you really put on the future in Kyle Fletcher, and he doesn't win it. Doesn't even make it to the finals. Made it to the semifinals, don't make it to the finals because he lost to Will Ospreay. So you have Will Ospreay versus Okada. This year for AEW has been bad. Really bad. And if you are one of the fans that disagree with me, I need you to take your AEW hat off and to really think about the product itself. Okay? You could have possibly had a great story with the Death Riders. Moxley creating this hostile takeover, which I said before when it originally happened, this was very much NWO-like. And then I turned around and there was this talk of, you don't own the company anymore. This is not your company anymore. And everybody was kind of leaning into, oh, maybe Shane McMahon's going to come and we're going to get this whole thing. And then we had I don't want to call them the AEW OGs or whatever. They were like, yo, we're going to take back what's rightfully ours and all this other bullshit. All for the end of the best way I can describe the clusterfuck of AEW is Rampage. The last Rampage ever to be in existence, because we know after Friday, Rampage is no more. This past Friday, Rampage ended. They cut it off. But it's the conclusion of Rampage where Moxley is sitting in the ring and Moxley is telling the backstage, telling the superstars of AEW, if you have a problem with me and what I stand for and what we are doing here, come out here and let's settle it. And they proceeded to come out. But they were fighting amongst each other and not fighting the Death Riders. That's what we're doing. Your main event at World's End ends with you talking about what's going to happen on Dynamite, basically saying rated FTR, which is Adam Copeland and FTR, against the Death Riders. Adam Copeland basically declaring that we're going to take everything from you. The Trio Sio titles, the world title, we're going to take it all. You have an opportunity, you had an opportunity to make a star out of Kyle Fletcher, to have, hell, the whole Death Riders thing, and they're talking about they want to take over in AEW. Your biggest babyface in Will Ospreay has nothing to say about this. He has nothing to say, nothing to do about this. You have Orange Cassidy and Adam Page and Jay White, and they're like, I can go on forever. And yes, right here is my disclaimer. I should have had it in the very beginning, but my disclaimer's right there. I want to see this company succeed. I really do. I really do. I do. Because we see what happens when AEW is successful and they're thriving, it makes WWE step their game up. But WWE is like, you know what? Triple H is running the show. We all know how great of a mind Triple H is. We are seeing the lackluster mind of Tony Khan. I mean, guys, just look at the fucking facial expressions this man made during the media scrum, in which we're being told that people, they were handing out index cards with the questions to ask Tony Khan during the media scrum. Have you ever seen this happen amongst anybody? They asked a question about the negative comments and the feedback that they're getting, and Tony Khan spent about what felt like 30 minutes circling around how, oh, well, you know, All In at Wembley, which was now 2 All-Ins ago, broke this record, and they said that we didn't sell this many tickets, but we really did sell this many tickets. He did not address the question. This is a problem that Tony Khan has. This is why Tony Khan stopped going to Busted Open and talking when Bully Ray's there, because Bully Ray's going to hold his ass to the fire and be like, listen, this right here, answer this. No, Tony, don't do that. Answer the question. He doesn't want to be held accountable. The more I hear people talk about the comparison, and they compare the late in his tenure as owner of the WWE, Vince McMahon, and Tony Khan, you get the similarity between the two. How these two are very much like, they're alike. And everybody that was hanging that man, Vince McMahon, out to dry to be like, yo, he's horrible. We need to get rid, like, he needs to go. Do the same thing with Tony Khan. Because I'll tell you this much. If 2025 doesn't get better for this company, it's not looking promising for AEW. It's not. And I want to see them succeed. I really do. Because they create stars for the future. Like Ricochet. We ain't going there. You know what? I am going to go there. I'm going to spend the last few minutes talking about Ricochet. Because okay. So, Ricochet, Trevor, my twin. Everybody says we look alike. So, you, sir, 6 years in the WWE, whatever. I promise you guys, many people think that this is the best thing that's happening for Ricochet right now is his heel turn. Whatever you want to refer to as. Heel turn, whatever. I don't like it. I think it's drizzling shit. I think it is horrible. I think he is horrible. Because he has the creative control to kind of do what he wants to do. And this is clearly why the WWE kind of said, you know what? Nah, we're not going to have you talk as much because you suck on the mic. And then with the idea of possibly Samantha Irvin, his fiance, his wife, whatever she is to him, coming into AEW. If Samantha Irvin comes to AEW and it's not a ring announcer, but is as talent as Taya Mella is to Sammy Guevara, it's not going to be pretty. And it's going to expose a lot. One thing I would say about AEW is they expose a lot of the flaws amongst their talent. We see it. We see how bad they are when they don't have a person to reel them in and say, let's not do it this way, let's do it this way. That, in a nutshell, wraps up. Because I can go on with that damn company, with Ricochet, with all of them. I'm going to talk about it in a later episode. Don't worry, but not right now. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I hope that y'all had a great 2024. I hope y'all had a great holiday. I should have started off by saying happy holidays for everybody because I did not do the episode last week. Happy New Year. This was a great year for professional wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever you want to refer to it as. This was a great year, 2024. Great year. WWE set records amongst them all. I was thankful enough to be able to finally see the Tribal Chief live. I seen Jey Uso live. I was yeeting all throughout that episode on SmackDown. Okay? Y'all seen the video. Y'all want to see it again? It's right here. Yeah, there you go. There you go. See? I'm yeeting. Yep. That's me. Right there. 2025, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to great things happening in 2025. Let me know in the comments below, what was your moments? What was your favorite moments? Who was your superstars of the year, breakthrough art, breakthrough superstar, promo of the year, all that stuff that I listed earlier on in the episode and on our Instagram page, RTW_podcast. Make sure you follow that. Make sure you follow this page, like, comment, and subscribe to this page. Hit the notification bell so you are kept up to date of when more content is dropping. Also follow the Ace at RTW_Ace. I did say that right. RTW_Ace. Yes. So where you can get more content from the Ace. And hopefully, in 2025, the Ace that runs the place will be here. Hopefully. Not always going to have franchise with Wrestle Talk with the franchise. I am out. Happy New Year. See y'all in 2025.